Hello everyone and welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Barrows Brothers. Now this guide is going to be focused primarily at low level play, so we're looking at tier 50 armour, tier 60 armour, things like that. This guide is completely Ironman friendly, you can do all of this without trading, and I have used this exact setup myself and I've got over 200 kills using this method. Now I don't normally do this at the start of a video, but I have just had a look and seen that 84% of my watch time has come from people that aren't subscribed to the channel, so we're getting pretty close to 100 subscribers now. If you do find this video useful and you are enjoying the series, if you can please click subscribe, it lets me know that you are enjoying the content and I will keep making it. So let's just jump into the guide and we'll go through it together. So let's look at the gear setup that we'll be using. So in our equipment, we're going to be equipping a full set of green dragon hide. It's only tier 40 armor, but it's the best I've got at the minute. Ideally, you want to be using some form of bow with rune arrows or something like that. I don't have that. I'm just going to be using rune throwing knives. It works okay. It's not ideal, but it'll do. Now in our backpack, we want to be bringing a full set of rune armor and a leaf bladed spear, or any tier 50 weapon or higher that has the stabbing property. I'll explain weaknesses a little bit later on, but it's really important that it does have the stabbing combat style. We're also going to be bringing a full set of mystic armor and a slayer staff. That's all tier 50, really accessible, quite easy to make with crafting, and the slayer staff and leaf bladed spear can both be bought from slayer masters. We're bringing a couple of prayer potions and a restore potion. Probably not going to need them all that much, but it's worth having them. Bring some emergency food as well, and really importantly, you need to make sure that you've got fire, water, air and earth runes. Finally, a couple of useful items. The vampirism aura is really good. Any stat boosting potions are going to just get you a little bit quicker kill times, and adrenaline potions are useful but probably not worth wasting here. If you've got an excess though, feel free to bring them. What's going to make your life really easy is if you make sure that your action bar binding is set up. Now go into settings, gameplay, combat and action bar binding, and you'll be able to get to those settings. What it does, if you equip a magic weapon, your action bar switches to magic. If you equip a melee weapon, it switches back to melee, so you don't have to keep changing your bars. It will all do it automatically for you, and it will make life so much easier for you, and it's really what makes this a viable strategy. So to get to Barrows, by far the easiest method is just going through the portal in War's Retreat. You will need one Barrows kill in order to do that. Most people will have that. If you've not, the other best way is to get a Reaper task from Death for the Barrows brothers. You can then just go through the Reaper portal for your first kill and then go through the War's Retreat portal for the others. I honestly wouldn't even recommend going the long way round. It is just too much of a pain. It's not worth doing. This is much better. You can also use the Draken's Medallion if you've got it, but most people won't have it, so it's definitely worth doing the War's Retreat method. Now once you get to the Barrows crypts, you will see that there are 6 different mounds that you can dig into. The middle one is the first one that I go to, which is Ahrim's. Behind that is Karil's, and then going anti-clockwise from there, you have Guthan's, Dharok's, Verac and Torag. That's the order that I kill them. It just seems to make the most sense to me, and it means that I have to switch gear a little bit less than I used to. I find that really comfortable. You can kill them in any order that you want. It's completely fine, but this is the order that I'll be showing. Now when you dig into the crypt, you'll see one sarcophagus in the middle. You need to search that and one of two things will happen. Either one of the brothers is going to pop out for you. You'll need to kill that brother before you're moving on. Otherwise, you're going to get a message saying that you found a tunnel from the sarcophagus. If you find the tunnel before you've killed the other 5 brothers, just leave and then go to the next crypt. Just remember which one it's in, take a note of it, or just remember which one you've missed, and then go back to it once you've killed the other 5. Once you get a bit more experience, you'll learn to just see which one is missing from the list at the top once you've gone to all 6, and you'll know which crypt to head into. They're always in exactly the same place. So let's break down the brothers and why we've brought the gear that we have for the kills. So the first brother that you'll be fighting is Ahrim. Now Ahrim is weak to arrows, which means that the best weapon that you want to be using for tier 50 is going to be a magic short bow with rune arrows. Now I don't have those, I've just got my rune throwing knives, but they seem to do pretty well. His special attack is that he will just drain some of your stats. It's really easy. The longer you go on, the more you're going to need that restore potion, but in general, it's a pretty easy fight to be fair, and you shouldn't have any problems. Just DPS him down and then move on to the next brother. So next up, we've got Karil. Now, Karil is very difficult to deal with if you are not prepared, and if you are camping magic, he will absolutely slice through you so quickly. You need to be protecting range at all times because he can just smite you. His special reduces your magic levels by a little bit. It is honestly negligible. You need to be more worried about the actual damage that he's causing you, but he is super weak to melee, so make sure you've got your leaf bladed spear or your stabbing rune weapon and just absolutely lay into him. So for Guthan, he is interesting. His armour set is one of the best ones that you can get. The armour set has a passive ability to just heal you a portion of the damage that you deal. It's really useful, especially at lower levels. However, as a brother, he's not that difficult at all. He can hit sort of reasonably hard sometimes. However, as long as you're praying melee, you're not going to have any problems in killing him. You just need to DPS him down faster than he can heal is basically the gist of it, and it's not a difficult threshold to meet in the slightest. Make sure that you're equipped your magic gear for this, and make sure that your spell is the highest level air spell that you can do. Guthan is weak to air spells. Make sure you're using air spells against him and you will get that huge accuracy boost that I was talking about. Nothing really special about this one, just make sure that you DPS him down and you will be good to go. That cannot be said for the next brother. So Dharok. Dharok is, in my opinion, the most annoying brother to deal with. Now, he doesn't have annoying mechanics or anything like that, he's just a DPS test again. However, the DPS test now is not against healing, it's against how quickly he can kill you. As soon as he gets below 50% health, his damage will start increasing rapidly. And if he is on, say 30 hit points and you've not quite finished him off, he can easily hit you for 2000 damage through your prayer. I have died many times and he will make or break your run at this point. Now, I like to get him out of the way at this point because I've still got prayer left at this point, a good amount of adrenaline that I've managed to store from previous brothers, and I just blitz him down. The really key things here: do not be afraid to use your defensive abilities. As soon as he hits 50%, use debilitate. That's going to give you 10-15 seconds where you can just keep hitting him because he's going to be doing reduced damage. If he is still alive after that debilitate wears off, you want to use devotion as soon as possible. You do not want to be tanking these 2000 hits, and he can 2000 hit you back to back and you will just die instantly. It is very annoying to deal with. For high level players, not a problem, just tank through it, but if you are a low level player in low armor, you will die very quickly to him if you are not ready for his damage boost. Kill him before he kills you, and then your run is super easy from this point forwards. So the fifth brother is Verac. Now, Verac is fairly straightforward. He does do damage to you through your armor, so he can hit a little bit harder than most of the other brothers. However, he's not really a huge deal unless you're already at low health after fighting Dharok. Now, if that is the case, just heal up and you'll be able to deal with him no problem. Make sure that you're using earth spells to get that accuracy boost, and make sure that you're protecting from melee. Other than that, he's fairly straightforward, so move straight on to Torag. The final brother for the main six is Torag. Now, Torag is pretty okay. He doesn't really hit very hard. He doesn't really have many special abilities at all. He can technically drain your adrenaline, but this happens so irregularly and you hit so frequently that it doesn't really matter. You can kill him quite easily just using basic abilities if needed. Just damage him down and then go and find your tunnel. So on screen now is a map of the weaknesses for each brother and which crypt they can be found in. As long as you are going in the order that I told you, you don't need to switch your magic gear, you can just change the spell, but then you should be pretty much good to go. Make sure you are using the spells that they are weak against. You are going to love that accuracy boost, and you will be able to tell immediately if you are not on the right spell. As I've said previously, not really a problem for your high level players. The damage and accuracy is so great that you can just ignore the weaknesses entirely, but if you are using tier 50 or tier 60 weapons, that accuracy boost is huge. Once you have killed 5 of the brothers, 1 will be missing, and that is where your tunnel is. So go find the tunnel, go into the catacombs, and you will be in this strange maze-like tunnel system that leads you to the Barrows chest in the middle. Now there are 2 other Barrows brothers that we will not be going over today, and the reason is they are not beginner friendly at all, and you should not be fighting them if you are a low level. Those are Akrisae and Linza. Akrisae you can deal with, it's not too difficult, but it's still better to not touch them at all. Akrisae will only be available once you have completed the Ritual of the Marjarat quest, which if you've got the levels and the skills to be able to do that quest, you're probably going to be a lot higher level than this. And Linza is only available after Kindred Spirits. She is an absolute pain even for high level players. Once you are a higher level player, there are absolutely plenty of guides out there that will help you, and I will probably release one myself in the future, but for the purposes of today, it's not worth going into, so we'll just leave them to one side. Now once you are in the tunnels, the first thing you want to do is head to the corner closest to the middle, and then hover over the 2 doors that lead to the chest. If one of them comes up with the symbol that says open, that is the one that you want to be heading towards. Sometimes it's just one door you need to go through and you can get straight there. Sometimes you'll need to run all the way around the other side. If the open symbol doesn't come up on them 2, then your door that's open is on the other 2 sides. So just run around, go through the different doors, and you'll get to the other side. One of them will say open, and that's the one you need to go through. Every time you open a door while you're down here, there is a slight chance that the brothers that you have not killed will appear right in front of you. Now just kill them when they appear and you will be good to go. If you've done everything right and you've only got these 6 brothers unlocked, then there should only be 1 brother left to spawn, which is the one where the tunnel was found. Kill them, and then you've got a chance of getting any of the 6 brothers' equipment out of the chest in the middle. So only 1 door leading to the chest will have an open symbol on it, and that's where you need to head. However, not every other door will be able to be opened as well. So sometimes you'll have the open door is the one right next to you, but you still have to run all the way around because the door between you and that open one doesn't have an open symbol, so it's locked. That's fine, it happens, just get there. Now, when you get to the door that leads to the middle chamber, click on it and it will come up with a puzzle. There are only 4 answers to the puzzle that you need to be worried about. I've put them on screen for you now, but how I remember it is it's square, top, backwards L, and pointing to the circle. Those are the ones that you need to click on as soon as they come up, because the monsters in that room are going to be aggressive and you're only going to have about 2 seconds to click it before the puzzle changes. So just click on the door, click on the puzzle answer, and you will be able to get into the room. Once you're in the room, either a rat, a skeleton, or one of these leech things is going to spawn. You can kill it if you want, you can ignore it, it doesn't really make a difference. The important thing is when you run up and open the chest, if you have not killed all 6 Barrows brothers, another brother is going to appear when you open the chest. If it appears then, kill it, and then you can loot the chest. Whatever you do, do not double click on the chest when you open it the first time. If you do, whatever brother you haven't killed yet will not be included in the drop rolls. So click it once to make the brother spawn, kill the brother, and then click it again, and you'll have a chance at that brother's loot. Once you've killed him, loot the chest, and then you are good to go. As soon as you click take loot, your screen is going to start shaking, just means that you've got to get out. Best way to do it, teleport towards retreat, recharge your prayer at the altar, and then run through the portal again and refresh. But that is everything in terms of the actual guide itself. The main reason you'll want to be doing Barrows is for the armour sets. There's a magic, a ranged, and 4 melee armour sets that you can get, as well as the accompanying weapons. There's also an Amulet of the Forsaken, which boosts the set effects, and is also just a really good hybrid amulet, and it also is used in archaeology as well. So good luck on your loot drops. If you have found this helpful, please give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more guides or to follow on with my series. That series is completely Slayer and PvM locked, so I can only get items that are dropped from monsters, and I have camped an absolute ton of Barrows. I've got over 200 kills. Check that out if it interests you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in a few days.